Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Bungie did another Edge of Fate stream going over what's coming, and luckily today, they didn't rehash everything they had already gone over, but it did have some. So we're going to take what we can get, and the info we got was good. Let's start with the launch trailer they showed at the beginning of the stream, and then I'll break it down with you later, alright? See you in a bit.
Kepler. You've never been there. And you know every inch of it. It's the farthest either of us have been from home. In distance or in time. You're gonna get a call. An invitation only you can answer. And you'll say yes. They arranged it so you would never say no. Choice is real. And every choice you make will lead you here. To who you're supposed to be. Eyes up, weapon.
Okay, welcome back. Let's talk. Am I the only one who really thought it was jarring seeing something almost really realistic in the first 5 seconds? Like, I thought I was on a COD trailer. Anyway, moving on. I noticed a couple small things. I find it very funny that Lodi says eyes up weapon. I do wonder if he's actually talking to us, the Guardian, or he's talking to someone else. Maybe it's some type of magic editing. Who knows? We do get a sneak peek at the new raid, and I'm wondering who the main enemy type will be. It could be the Vex or House of Exile. If it's the Vex, it's probably going to be Maya Cinderesh's Vex because they're on here as well. I'm really digging the shapes in the completely wide open area. I wonder if this is going to be a raid that's completely wide open. That would be really cool to me. I'm wondering if we might face the other 2-9 that were split in the original set, or are we way too close to be at the beginning of the slide to be fighting the apparent big bad guy? And since we're already talking about the raid, I'm going to skip a bit ahead here because some of the devs talk about something called a epic raid coming in September with Ash of Iron. I'll play the clip right here.
Have the raid with the Edge of Fate, obviously, but then we have the epic raid coming in the major update with Ash and Iron, which we'll talk about more in the future. That just
The epic raid
expands the raid and expands on the story of the raid. It is new content.
Yeah.
We're not holding anything back for the base raid to build that experience, and so.
Now, I'm curious and I'm really wondering what this could be. I hope it's not something that they messed up and talked about master mode and or accident, but the fact that they're mentioning new content and expands on the story makes me think that that's not possible. I'm hoping that it's maybe a higher difficulty similar to hard mode in Destiny 1, where bosses and encounters got different things compared to the normal ones. For example, in D1 Taken King, during the King's Fall raid, if you fought War Priest, depending on the little stone you hide behind during the wipe mechanic, he would get a different attack. When you got to Golgoroth, once you got on half health, he would swap from Hive to Taken. It was really cool. I hope they continue to add stuff like this. We've been asking for it for a while during Master Mode because Master Mode is garbage. I hope they do this here. I'm really excited to hear more information about this when it comes around in September. Let's talk Kepler, all right? We have 4 world tiers. Brave world tier, which is normal like we're used to. Legendary like the legendary campaign. Fabled is set at 150 light level, and Mythic is at 200. These difficulties will have light level enabled, so if the enemies are 50 to 100 levels higher than you, you will feel it. The developer said that most people who beat the legendary campaign should be able to attack Fable difficulty right after, but you will see some challenge, and some might want to go find the fire team, especially for Mythic. Mythic and Fable will have some specific quests that can only be done on these difficulties, with banes and modifiers that change weekly. Mythic World tier will have a quest that rewards a different variation of the Kepler armor set with a completely new set bonus and shader. New free roam activities will be available in all 4 regions of Kepler, with a lot of enemy density that will also be increasing in difficulty depending on the world tier you are in. When you complete these activities, you will earn Faded Ciphers. Faded ciphers are a new item that can be used to buy specific items when combined with a destination material from that specific region at the altar of relativity. Each day will have a different focus region to see which one you have to farm to get the loot you want. Attunement is also available for loot on Kepler. You can do this at a currently unknown vendor when you are attuned to a specific weapon or gear. Anything that can drop has a chance to drop your attuned weapon, which is actually really cool. We still got more info. Side quests will also be on Kepler, and as you complete regions, you will unlock side quests that are available at any time after you unlock them. These side quests are there to flesh out characters and the world and what might happen to them now and in the future. Legendary campaign will get you power ready for contest mode like normal, but post campaign in the higher world tiers, there is a story mission playlist, and it is one of the best way to get faded ciphers, according to the developers. Because of the outrage with no evidence of the community being upset that there apparently is nothing to do on Kepler after you beat the campaign, they had to come out and say that there is a destination activity, they were just keeping it secret. The information that they did give is that it's a 3-player match-made activity that will use Matter Spark and other Kepler abilities. They also mentioned that it's kind of like a horror mode and Vex Incursion mixed with Wellspring, but it's also the best way to get new rolls on the new exotic armor coming. But similar to Vex Incursion or Neomuna, it won't always be available. It'll be a timed-based thing, but you will know exactly when it's coming. After that, they move into the portal, but we know most about that, so let's talk about the modifiers. They start with challenge modifiers. This section of modifiers are basically the normal ones we're used to, along with Banes. They seem to only come in sets of 2 though for Banes. The first is called Rage and Front Shielding. Rage states affected combatants deal increased damage and have increased damage resistance as their health levels decline, while Front Shielding states affected combatants have a shield that protects them from frontal damage. Try shooting them from behind. I'm praying, and I mean praying, we do not run into any front shielded ogres anytime soon, even though I already saw one during the freaking Spire of the Witch gameplay. Please don't put that thing on unstoppable. If I swear to God, if I have to fight an unstoppable front shielded ogre, I'm legitimately going to cry because those things are already annoying. They continue to shoot at you. It's really annoying. Please don't do it, Bungie. The second set of Banes is called Threaded and Caltrop. Threaded states that dealing non-critical damage to affected combatants will spawn in hostile threadlings. Caltrop states affected combatants drop damaging elemental pools during combat and after being defeated. The last set also includes Front Shield, so we're only going to talk about the second one, Avalanche. Avalanche states that affected combatants periodically release stasis crystals that targets guardians and slow them on impact. This one could be annoying, but it doesn't seem too bad. Easy to use so we can get some extra loot. Alright, moving on to the actual modifiers. We have Stasis Threat 1, so we also have a 25 and a 50% extra damage on Stasis. Then they have Chill Touch, which slows you when you get hit by a melee attack. Hot Stop, when defeating a challenging combatant, they drop a fire after a location of death. Next, they show Subtle Foes. Now, I vividly remember this being a thing in another entry, whether if it was in D1 or D2, I can't remember. But it states whenever you are far away from a combatant, they will be invisible. And this is not a regular invisible like we're used to, like Void Invisibility. They said you will flat out just not be able to see them, which is definitely going to be annoying. I can't imagine being sniped by a freaking Vandal that I can't see. That's going to get annoying. The last one they show was called Glass Cannon, and I know for a fact that people are never going to put this on, and if they do put it on, it's going to be really annoying. It states that the player with the most kills take more damage during the activity, and it can be traded to person to person, depending on who has the most kills at the moment. But why would I want to get punished for more kills? I wish they would at least lead into the Glass Cannon part even more, to where you take more damage, which you're also dealing more damage, but that might make it fall into the boon category, which we'll get to later. Let's move on to player stakes. This is how the player will interact with the activity itself, like lock loadouts, no HUD, no starting ammo, avant-garde, which restricts you to only using new weapons and armor only. Now, let's talk about boons. Boons are buffs that benefit the player. Think like surges. There's a couple new ones like Volatile Pickpocket, where a finisher or final blow will grant you a free Void Grenade, and Livewire, where sprinting for a short time causes you to become amplified, while amplified, receiving melee damage causes lightning down around you. Healing finisher is self-explanatory, but hypercritical is not. It makes it so combatants take more precision damage, but less non-precision damage. From the look of the HUD, it looks like boons lower your challenge rating, making it so you will get a less higher score than you would normally get without them. So you might want to limit them. Maybe if you just want to have fun, throw them all on and don't care about the loot, you can do that as well. But to keep it simple, the more difficult the challenge, the better the loot you'll get. The easier the challenge, the not as good loot you'll get. Pretty simple. The portal will also have a thing called Portal Accelerator. Think a wide buff that covers the entire portal. The one on screen shows you that you will get a second drop when doing bonus focused activities. DMG said he also saw one during testing that gave bonus damage to Suros weapons. So the sky's the limit, and they mentioned that if there's anything cool going on, they'll mention it in a tweet. They also said a bow only modifier is coming. I don't know how I feel about that, but I know that girl that does bow only dungeons will be very excited. They plan on adding new modifiers with events and even more coming with Ash and Iron in September. We're also supposed to be getting a completely new activity type for an event that's taking place during Ash and Iron. Okay, now for some rapid fire news for stuff that does not fit into a specific niche. The Pinnacle Ops tab of the portal will have exotic missions in them that don't rotate out when it launches. Pinnacle Ops will also have more activities added to them during Ash of Iron. Strikes and other activities can now be played by yourself. 200 light level is now the soft cap, and you can do any activity in the game to get there. Anything past that is a seasonal bonus power that will go away after the season is over. Think the artifact bonus power we have now. Upgrade modules are no longer going to be used to infuse stuff and can be dismantled for enhancement cores and 1500 glimmer when the expansion launches. Do not dismantle your upgrade modules now. You will instead use a new material called unstable cores combined with enhancement cores to infuse stuff. There is now no limit to the amount of pinnacles you can get because everything in the portal can drop a pinnacle. You can also hit max light level through PvP and achieve it even faster if you play competitive or trials. The Seasonal Hub is a small, free, I repeat, free, Free, battle pass that is exactly like the heavy metal one. It has a daily and weekly challenge that can award things like extra drops from portal activities, and completing this will progress the reward track that give you things like unstable cores and armory requisitions. They give you bonus drops from Zavala that are higher tier and power than you can get from getting the best grade in any activity. They refresh every week and you can get 2 pieces of armor and 2 weapons. The Conquest tab is also located in the Seasonal Hub, and this will be replacing GMs. These conquests are fixed power and have fixed modifiers that cannot be changed. Fire team power is disabled, and you get higher tier engrams they said you can only get once. They don't say whether it's once per day, once per week, or once per season. I'm going to assume it's once per season, which would really suck. It kind of sounded like that the way they were wording it, but once again, I'm not 100% sure. Completing all the conquests will also be how you will guild your Conqueror Seal now, but don't fret, all the gilded Conqueror Seal progress you already have will continue to stack on top of this new one. And last but not least, Guardian rank is being reset to Guardian rank 2 because they are changing their objectives to revolve more around the portal. So no more solo dungeon requirements, no more commendation requirements, and nothing that requires you to own an expansion. Then after Ash and Iron, it will be reset to rank 6 like we normally do. And looking at my notes, that's pretty much all they showed during the stream. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. What do you guys think that Epic Raid is going to be? Are you hoping it's just Master again? Please tell me you're not. Are you hoping we're going to get new fights and new gameplay? Please tell me it is. Are you hoping it could be Raid Layers? That would be a low-key high content. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Have a good rest of your day. And remember, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. Stay spooky, and I'll see you next time. Bye.